This channel is proudly sponsored by the Era Survival Grace Under Pressure comic Kickstarter, a post-apocalypse comic book based on the Era Survival role-playing game, and the Dark City Noir Conspiracy audio drama. Please check out the links in the description and in the pinned comment. Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring the Walking Dead Universe role-playing game core book. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this role-playing game based on the popular Zombie Apocalypse franchise, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to continue with the character creation process, starting with stress and anchors. When you start the game, you have two anchors. One is a non-player character, the other is a player character. Interacting with your anchors allow you to relieve stress. However, be careful, they could get killed. Perhaps your anchor is replaced. It all depends on what happens during the fiction. At the end of the session, the Game Master will go through a checklist to see if you have reached some breaking points. Depending on this, and if you fail your empathy roll, you may end up losing your drive. Perhaps you become shattered, you start to lose your mind. You could become emotionally shut off. Perhaps you start to think that the walkers are actually alive, or maybe you want to die. Perhaps your issue changes, or you obtain a new issue. When it comes to starting gear, you have gear depending on your archetype. This is randomly determined, and your strength determines how many items you can carry. When it comes to experience points, they allow you to level up. You obtain experience points based on what has happened during the session. And of course, the improvements that you obtain with these experience points need to make sense with what has happened during the session. Concerning relationships, when you start the game, you don't start on your own. You start with a group of non-player characters that you have been living with inside of your haven. This could be a bus, a factory, a villa, a hospital, a school. It is a structure that provides a certain degree of protection and shelter. Each haven starts with a capacity and a defense. We will talk about this in a future part of this review. Suffice to say, the haven is your base of operations. It is sufficiently stocked, hopefully. But of course you need to go on runs to secure resources, rations, ammo, tools, etc. Now when it comes to the non-player characters you begin the game with, the book says that you should create them alongside the other players. That is, the Game Master and the players should create them as a group. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about skills and talents. Now I like this character creation process, however, when it comes to the creation of non-player characters as a group, I think this is potentially disruptive. When it comes to the adventure seats, the campaign framework, etc. that the Game Master is designing, sometimes if you create non-player characters that make no sense, even as a group, it could make establishing a coherent framework for the campaign or the session somewhat more complicated, to the point that now you need to match those archetypes and stereotypes with the overall scenario or campaign world, because the group already has an idea on the tendencies, the quirks, the personalities of these non-player characters. That's in the spoiler territory. Now they know what sort of character is prone to betray them. Now they know which character is steadfast and reliable. And if the Game Master handles the non-player characters in an unexpected way, the players could end up thinking that the behavior of such non-player characters does not match what has been established during the non-player character creation. So I would recommend that the Game Master creates all of the non-player characters. That way you can keep all of the surprises intact. And the same could be said when it comes to the creation of the haven. When it comes to a realistic, immersive experience in the Walking Dead universe, the people surviving there do not create the structures, they do not manifest schools and hospitals out of thin air with the power of their minds. They encounter them during their survival journeys. So I would highly recommend that you consider that for the sake of immersion. Thank you for watching this part of the review. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. This has been Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. If you want me to run a game for you, please check out the pinned comment below. And remember, It is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you and see you later.